lit chandeliers glow. We'll sip our worries away, nice and slow. Your laughter ripples like sweet warm wine. In this jazzy sultry space, you're mine. The saxophone croons a velvet tune, while melodies dance beneath the moon. We'll toast to moments both grand and small, in this hazy, lazy, jazz-touched hall. Let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you. Your eyes, they sparkle with every click. Sweet rendezvous over a simple drink. We'll share our secrets in whispers low, just you and me where the jazz flows slow. The world outside fades into the mist, but here it's our own dreamy tryst. With each sip our worries drift away. Let's stay together till the break of day. So let's sit together in the mellow night. We'll drink to love till the morning light. Every glass we raise a promise true. Here's to the magic in a drink with you.
The following live stream has been approved for appropriate audiences. It may contain occasional strong language and may not be suitable for younger or more sensitive viewers. Viewer inebriation is advised, though not mandatory.
Good evening and welcome to Last Call, where the drinks are strong and the tunes are even stronger. Tonight's brew is on Soundtrack Synergies, those film gems that hijacked our radios and became the soundtracks of our youth. Imagine roller skating through neon dreams to Olivia Newton-John and ELO. Then Oingo Boingo is blasting while you build a girlfriend in Weird Science. Absolute chaos, but pure gold. So top off your glasses, settle in, and we'll revisit those wondrous movie tunes right now.
Last Call is streamed before a live audience.
Salute and happy weekend. If you don't consider liquid lunch midday on Friday to be the weekend or the start of the weekend, then this definitely is. Most people that are 9 to 5 during the weekday, you're off work. But you know what? Even if you got to work this weekend, it's still the weekend. So let's enjoy. Let me get my needed people in here because. Well, wait a minute. Before I do that, those of you that joined me this afternoon for Liquid Lunch know what I'm sipping on. I did not have the coconut cream in my Blue Hawaiian at the time. I've never used coconut cream before in a drink. I don't do a lot of these, Hawaiian type drinks. I went to open it. I shook it, because I just figure that's what you do, right? I poked into it, right, one side, and then you do the little on the other side so that it'll pour without the vacuum. It didn't pour. I looked in. and I saw white. So I open it with a can opener. And this coconut cream is like the consistency of butter. It is all the juice and fat and everything, and it's all solid. Now, it is possible that that's my fault because I stored it in the fridge. The reason I stored it in the fridge is because when I'm having a cold drink, I want all the ingredients to be cold. So the rum was in there, the Caracal was in there, the lime juice. Well, of course, the lime juice is in there, right? So I actually had to warm it up in order to mix it into the drink. So let me start actually with, if you don't mind, Boomer, I'm going to bring Netter in first. Netter of Netter's Network, because she happens to be sipping on the same thing. How are you doing, my dear? And what do you think of the drink? What? Yours looks like it's getting a head on it.
No, it's...
Is it separating out? Mine isn't.
Oh, I don't know. Yeah, a little bit yours is. Look at the very bottom. Now,
no, that's thing. Just the way the glass looks. Mine is still.
Troy made his, and then he made mine. Even though I told him it's like you need to get on.
That's why I'm late. I was getting the drinks together.
It's like you don't need to make mine. He goes, I'm already halfway through. Just shush. So I'm like, okay. He says shush, shush, shush. His, I actually like the flavor a little bit better. It doesn't taste as sour to me as the one he made me. And he said he didn't put as much lime juice in mine.
Just a dash of lime juice.
But I'm just tasting a lot of the sour.
Do you want to switch?
Let me taste yours again. I expect it to taste more coconutty.
Yeah.
Especially with the coconut cream in there.
I put like 2 ounces of lime juice in that.
Yeah, here, taste mine.
Yeah. Let's see. Bear with us, folks. This is important. This is for science.
See, it's much more sour.
It's also more frothy, and I didn't really mix yours significantly more. But you're right, it is. Do you want me to just take this one? You can have that one.
Okay, well, he's now drinking his out of a wine glass rather than...
I'm drinking it out of a wine glass because we want, small, for little lips, big lips, big mouth. Anyway, let's get...
And I'm probably not going to drink all this.
Well, then I'll finish that one, too. Let's get Boomer in here. Boomer, how you doing, my friend? And what are you sipping on? Remember, you're going to have to be the designated driver tonight.
I'm doing fine. I got myself a Pure Leaf unsweetened iced tea because I got to work in the morning too.
See, you got to help me land this stream. I've been drinking all day, and so you never know what we're gonna get into.
By the way, I noticed an observation when making the presentation. It seems like you have an inordinate amount of movies starring Rob Lowe, and I have an inordinate amount of movies starring Robert Downey Jr. The two Robs, basically. Isn't that odd?
Rob Lowe is in About Last Night.
And St. Elmo's Fire.
Oh, that's right. And both movies also have Mrs. Bruce Willis. What's her name?
Demi
Moore.
Yeah.
It's weird. Actually, I'll say this. A lot of these actors keep showing up. Yeah, they keep showing up in several of these movies, I think there's cross-pollination between some of your picks and mine, too, with actors. I thought it was interesting.
He's a thick drink. I'm kind of liking this whole coconut cream thing. I think the coconut cream might work its way into the hard blue milk, the next Star Wars stream that we do.
It does taste good. I think it helps with some of the flavor, but as I said, I'm not tasting coconut as much as I expect to taste coconut.
I know for all the coconut cream, and I used coconut rum.
Yeah, I'm tasting the coconut rum because it's got specific aftertaste, but the cream itself, I expected it to taste creamier and like a pina colada, and I just expected more oomph with the coconut flavor, and it's not there.
It's got kind of a almost desserty type of, like I'm eating pie kind of a flavor to me. Welcome, Connie Cleary. Look, my drink is the same color as your little birdie. Little birdie, why do you fly upside down? JPRPH1 is here multiple times because he is a member on both of our channels, and he is a member on my channel twice now.
Cool.
My friend. Big Al Presents says, have a great show, my friends. Glad to see some love for Hard to Hold with Rick Springfield. Yeah, that one is, we're going to get into it. All of these soundtracks have a lot of songs that were released and in play on the radio. That one only had one. It has a great soundtrack, but not a lot of releases. We'll talk more about that when we get to it. Also, Big Al, you're a member, and speaking to all the members here, including you two on the panel, I just got the poll up for the Monday night movie. And basically, it's 4 of the 5 movies that I brought up for tonight. So if you want to go and vote, I decided to leave Xanadu off because we've already watched Xanadu twice between me and Netter and Big Al. So I think maybe focus on the other 4 for Monday.
Sure.
Ruby Hoove has gifted a Netters Network membership. Thank you so much, Ruby Hoove. Who did that go to? That went to Jeff B2607. Welcome back to membership on Netters Network. Thank you so much. Oh, and she gifted one to me as well. Thank you so much. That went to Arwen Avalon. Oh, I haven't had a drink with her in a long time. I'm going to have to reach out to her and do another pub crawl night with her. That would be a lot of fun. Thank you so much for that, Ruby. Oh, and she then drops a $5 super chat to say, we'll be listening. Have some cleaning to do. Have a fabulous Friday, y'all. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the way to do it. You don't need to look at my ugly mug. Just listen to what we're saying. That's more than sufficient. David Pensek says, hello and good evening to you. Last call with Troy Pacelli. I almost said Pacelli. Someone else called me Pacelli today, too. And it wasn't Michael from Retroblasting who did read off a question that I had sent in his interview that he did. You should go check that out. He's talking hat making with the foremost hat maker really in the world. The guy who is the person you would go to if you want an Indiana Jones fedora.
Oh, you mean the guy who made your Indiana Jones fedora that I've surprised you with? You're like, whoo!
Yep. Which reminds me, based on the question that I asked him, I have added a hat brush to the Amazon list if you want to take a look at that.
I will get you one. Let me buy things because you don't look at delivery dates.
Yes, I know. Nate, by the way, Nate, check your DMs. I've got a request into you. I don't know if it's something you could do, but give it some thought. That is your skill set above and beyond mine. You might be able to help me out with that. Anyway, he says, like, share, subscribe, comment, become a member. And if you were going to give a super chat of $5 or more, why not give a membership instead to make our family grow? Or, you could do like Ruby Ooh and do both. She doesn't have to do that, but she does because she is just that generous. And he gives me a $2 farty fox. I don't care how much the super chair, the super sticker is. I appreciate the farty fox. I really do. I would make that something free that you guys could hit if I could figure out how to do that. Let's see here. Booger. Good to see you, my friend. Welcome. And deleted scenes. Salute. Hope you had a good watch party with Big Al earlier this evening. I am eating my dinner right now. Steamed broccoli and cheese in turkey egg-rich sausage and a Sprite. Interesting.
Making me hungry.
Interesting. I'm assuming the Sprite isn't like poured over it. That's like what you're drinking.
Side drink, probably.
Yeah, possibly. Happy Friday. What's up, everyone? Daniel Berry Sports Highlights. Great channel. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed to everybody who's here. All the members are linked below, so you could just hit it, go to the channel, hit subscribe. You can do that very, 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 very easily. Netter is telling everybody on every channel, like, share, subscribe. And in the case of this guy here, he is only 136 subscribers away from the coveted 500 members. Let's help him get there. Let's wait. I'm gonna pause the show. Pausing the show right now, everybody. Take a moment. You can go down to the description below because the panelists are also tagged.
I can also put a link in the chat.
You can do that too. Click on Aged Boomer's channel and just go hit the subscribe button there. Even if you think you're subscribed, do this for me, please, just to double check and make sure you're subscribed. Okay? Let's get this guy monetized because he has been, let's face it, he's been the driving force behind this channel. You know, I mean, I've been using him like friggin' slave labor here. You know, he's like the redheaded stepchild around.
It's fun.
He really is the redheaded stepchild around here.
You do things for me too. It's even. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Yeah, anyway. I give you an opportunity to talk to Sophia. That's what I do for you. That's
I'm gonna win her back, man. I'm gonna win her back from virtual. I can't believe
we've got another video. We've got another video next time we do an AI stream, courtesy of Nate. So just something to look forward to.
We are living in the future we talked about as kids, except it's just weird. It's just.
Yeah.
Go
there
ahead.
you go.
Sorry.
Put both drinks in a shaker together and then divide them again. Yeah, I could do that, but yeah, I'm on stream now. So, Sophia, can you take care of that for us? Cold black coffee, milk, and a squirt of coconut flavor. That sounds really yummy. Man, that sounds really yummy. Normally, I don't like to put anything in my coffee, but that sounds good. Just be careful there, because that sounds like a gateway, because that leads up to, you know, like a Boston, and then that leads into the Frappuccinos and the Scoobity Whatsits that they do at those those places that charge you $20 for a little tiny cup of coffee.
We know you're enjoying Almond Joys. We can't have that.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Do you want one of those little umbrellas for your drink?
I do not.
We got some, I think, in the back.
I'm sure we do. And I don't even remember why we got them, because I would never use them in a drink. They get in the way.
You know what's
That's
weird?
how I feel about garnishes. They get in the way. There should be nothing between me and my booze. Right? What were you going to say, Boomer?
I was going to say, coconut was one of these things I couldn't stand as a kid, but as an adult, I'm fine with. It's weird how taste can change over time. Like, I'll eat a Mounds or an Almond Joy. I think they're perfectly good. But when I was a kid, I wouldn't touch this stuff.
Yeah. And, okay, so you know what the difference is between Mounds and Almond Joy, right?
Mounds is just the coconut. Almond Joy has almonds with the coconut. They're both very tasty candy bars.
There is another difference.
Dark chocolate versus milk?
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom,
Okay.
boom.
Sometimes you feel like a nut.
Sometimes you don't. Almond Joy's got nuts. Mounds don't, because sometimes you feel like a Mounds. Sometimes you Almond Joy.
Yes.
Let's see. Real Weight Nation Gaming Clips. Hi, y'all. Just recording myself. Go for it, man. Do you like pina coladas?
I do, very much.
Getting caught in the rain? Not really so much.
Well, I
guess if it's warm enough, right?
I like pina coladas. I don't mind getting caught in the rain if I'm on my way home, but going to someplace I don't want to get caught.
We're also not real big fans of that song.
I'm also not into cheating on my spouse.
Exactly right. That song just don't like that. I especially hate the part where he goes to meet the person that he sent or that he was gonna hook up with from the personal ad, and he sees it's his wife, and she goes, "Oh, girlfriend. It's you," or whatever, wife, girlfriend, whatever.
And then
it's you.
They laugh for a moment. Oh, I didn't know you liked that. It's like no. In real life, that would not happen. And be like, pardon the language when I say this, Bitch, what you doing here? You were going to be stepping out on me? What?
Well, you're here stepping out on me.
Well, apparently with guys, there's a double standard,
There's a double standard with women, too. They're in that circumstance with that kind of dysfunction, you would expect.
The way I see it, if you are so disinterested with your partner, break up.
Break up and then open your personal ad.
I mean, what's the point of staying with them if you don't have any feelings for them anymore? There's zero reason for it.
Almost forgot to come chat here. Don't do that. We miss you if you don't come and chat with us.
Yes, please come chat.
So many chats, so little time. There's Mark Kapla. Drive-by like from the daily. Oh, he's still at work. Of Rurapente. That sharp botleth cut even more deeply than I thought. Right up till 5 p.m. I'll be looking forward to the update on that. Enjoy a mug of blood wine and popcorn as I watch the reports. Should be very, very interesting. Again, make sure you're subscribed to Aged Boomer. And, of course, we have Penny coming in to giving out hugs. Super appreciate that, Penny. You're wonderful. Certain garnishes are okay. Gomez Adams would never be caught drinking a martini without the egg. Yes. And let's be honest. I always have olives in my martini. Not necessarily just the ones with pimentos. I'll take garlic. Occasionally, I'll have blue cheese. The problem is with the blue cheese, I'll have like 2 in my drink, and then somehow the rest will just disappear. I won't have them by the time I get to my next martini. I don't know what happens to them. That song was certainly was a catchy little ditty when it came out. As an adult, it's a horrible story. When you listen to it, the message is terrible. And having heard it so many times, constantly since the 70s, I'm sick of the damn song. Even if it wasn't, like a horrible story, it's like, okay, enough already. Really? I'm so with you. I say the same thing to my wife. I told her she never has to worry about me cheating on her because 1, she's the love of my life, and 2, I would leave her first if it got that bad. That makes perfect sense. I told Netter when we were about to get married, I said, look, you better make sure, because I'm pretty traditional, right? When I say till death do us part, I mean it. That means if you want out, one of us got to die. Just saying. That's a little
and
Ruby
dark.
Hoove has subscribed to Aged Boomer. Thank you so much, Ruby Hoove.
You.
That's at least one more subscriber.
Yeah, I got a few on here. Thank you, everybody. Appreciate it.
There you go. A martini should always have an odd number of olives. I had never heard that before, but I'm going to start having 3 martini olives. I actually like that better, but I was going to say 3 olive martinis.
Yes, but see, Troy has the danger of if they are green olives, I will take them.
That's true. Well, she'll take that's also partly why I get the garlic and the blue cheese ones.
I won't touch the blue cheese.
She definitely won't touch the blue cheese ones. The problem is I eat those. The garlic ones, she might eat some, but there's only so many of those you can eat. Even as a garlic lover,
Yeah, it's like, see, our big thing is I always loved green olives. I don't like black olives. I just don't like the taste of them. Green olives are a little salty, and I just think they taste better.
So Nate says the 80s had the best soundtracks. Come at me, internet. I think that is the perfect pivot. So let's go ahead and get right to it.
Considering we started out in the 70s.
We spent a half hour chit-chatting with the chat because that's what we do here. We put the social in social media. So there we go. Let's go ahead and get to it. The soundtracks of our youth.
Yes.
Let me front load this a little bit, Boomer. And I've already actually said this throughout the week, but let me reiterate. This is not the kind of soundtracks like The Score. This is, if you want that kind of thing, you should go check out. And he's also linked below. Channel member Daniel Herron, Soundtracks with Birdman. He knows composers. He knows scores. He knows good classical music. This is popular music, songs that were released on the radio, and there was this great synergy that happened between film and soundtrack, basically between cinema and radio, during the late 70s, mostly throughout the 80s. Kind of started tapering off after that. And honestly, that's a whole other topic about what happened to music.
One of my soundtracks here is from the 90s.
I said it started tapering off. I didn't say there were none. I'm just saying. And because the quality of music started going, people started listening to the radio less. There's a whole aspect.
Definitely, probably after the turn of the century. Probably, yeah, you're right.
But what you're going to see with these soundtracks is some of them are musical. So you go, okay, I get why Grease has a soundtrack with a bunch of songs on it, and you would want to listen. Okay, yeah, but not all of them are. And we'll get into that as we go through. One of the anal bum covers, is that a typo or is that the name of you showed was 1978, not the 80s? I am not sure what you're saying there, Booger, but it's funny. These songs in the 80s became the soundtrack of our lives. That's true. I can tell you right now, Boomer's 90s soundtracks will be songs in the key of X.
It's funny. I didn't have that on the list here. I did talk about that on Geeky Geezers once. Maybe next time, if we do this again, that might show up, even though it's not really technically not movie. Actually, no, since it's not movie, I don't think I can include it because it has to be movies. But I did talk about that on Good Old Days one time. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So let's go ahead and get to it. What do we got? What do we got?
Let's go here. We're going to start out with one of your picks.
Okay.
I don't see anything.
It's blank.
There we go. I had a blank slide there. Sorry.
You had a blank slide. Have you been drinking, Boomer?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, Troy's pick, Grease, 1978. We'll start out with Grease.
Okay, let me pull up
my
notes.
Look at that.
I love that. I love that you grabbed that picture because that
eBay listings. Yes.
Yeah. So I have 5 albums on this list. I had the actual LP of each one of these. Okay.
Oh wow.
If you ever see, some of you that are old enough, you remember having a big album collection, right? Going through them, playing them on the record player. Okay. But if you didn't, if you're younger, you've seen people in movies playing records, going to friends' houses, going through their record collection. Hey, let's listen to this. I don't know this one. Can you play this one? And this particular one, I loved this one in grade school. This one, we just like you have these nostalgia eras, right? Where I guess like the Gen Z went through an 80s kind of nostalgia thing that they didn't live through and stuff like that. I was doing this with my mom's music, the whole 50s thing. Started
Happy Days.
Happy Days was a big part of it.
Yes.
Plus my school had annual sock hops. So we would do I would do the DA in my hair and candy cigarettes rolled up in my sleeve. And I do, the whole bit. And then Grease hit and boom, it was solidified. Now, let me pull up but this, like Nate said, this stuff became the soundtrack of our lives. I was still like gaga over, this music throughout the rest of my life. I've never kind of stopped listening to any of this. And did I not? I have Grease on here, don't I? Oh, here it is. Okay. Yeah, Grease is probably the longest album of all of them because it was two records, 4 sides. It was based on a stage play. So some of the music comes from the original stage play. Not all of it, though, and we'll get into that in just a second. But I had a huge crush on Olivia Newton-John. I think that kind of cemented my. Let's just say I have a type. I've mentioned that on the stream before, and so that's why there are two Olivia Newton-John movie/albums.
Well, you like her voice too.
I like everything about her. I like her blonde hair, her blue eyes, her voice, her Australian accent. I liked everything about her. It really bothered the heck out of me at the end of this movie when she's smoking a cigarette. It's like, I don't like that. But let me get to my notes. So actually, let me quickly give you the rundown of the songs. So there's Grease, written by. Do you know who wrote the song Grease?
No.
It was performed by Frankie Valli, but it was written by Barry Gibb of the Bee Gees. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. Summer Nights, Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. Hopelessly Devoted to You, written by John Farrar, which means, of course, it was sung by Olivia Newton-John. You're the One That I Want, also written by John Farrar. You guys all know that song. Sandy, sung by John Travolta. Beauty School Dropout, Frankie Avalon. Oh, yeah, I was just getting there. Grease Lightning. Grease Lightning, John Travolta. Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee. That one was sung by Stockard Channing. It's Raining on Prom Night by Cindy Bullen. Alone at the Drive-In, which was, of course, an instrumental. And then we go into a whole album side that's just Sha-Na-Na. Blue Moon, Rock and Roll's Here to Stay, Those Magic Changes, Hound Dog, Born to Hand Jive, and Tears on My Pillow. I was a huge Sha-Na-Na fan, too. That was really big in the 70s as well. Bowser. Oh, God, I was a huge fan. Let's see. Freddie My Love by Cindy Bullens. Rock and Roll Party Queen. There Are Worse Things I Could Do. Stockard Channing had two songs on this album. A reprise of Look at Me, I'm Sandra Dee by Olivia Newton-John. That's the song she's singing as she's watching the drag race. We Go Together, the ensemble, of course, and Love is a Many Splendored Thing. That one is an instrumental, but go ahead and let us know in the chat if you know what movie that's originally from. And, of course, a reprise of Grease by Frankie Valli at the end. Grease was written by Barry Gibb, recorded by Frankie Valli. It was released as a single in May of 1978. It was the title song from the movie, and it sold over 7 million copies worldwide. Grease is one of 4 songs written specifically for the film and had not been in the stage production. Summer Nights was written by Jim Jacobs and Warren Casey for the stage play, performed by Olivia Newton-John and John Travolta. It was released in August of 1978. It was the 4th single from the movie soundtrack and became a massive hit worldwide during the summer of 78. It reached number 5 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and spent 2 weeks at number 3 on Cashbox Top 100. The song was even bigger in the UK, spending 7 weeks at number 1, combined with an earlier 9-week run with You're the One That I Want, the John Travolta, Olivia Newton-John duet team that spent 16 weeks at number 1 during 1978 in the UK. Hopelessly Devoted to You was performed by Olivia Newton-John. It was written by and produced by John Farrar. The song reached number 3 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 and number 7 on the adult contemporary charts. On the country charts, Hopelessly Devoted to You peaked at number 28 and was the first top 20 country hit. Olivia Newton-John's first top 20 country hit in 2 years. People forget that she started out in the United States as a country artist. Let me be there in your morning. Let me be there in your night. We're going to have to do a stream all just dedicated to Olivia Newton-John one of these days, I think. The song was released in Australia in August of 1978 and peaked number 2. Newton-John performed the song at the 21st Grammy Awards in 79. The song received an Oscar nomination as Best Original Song, losing to Last Dance from the Thank God It's Friday at the 51st Academy Awards. You're the One That I Want was performed by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. It was written and produced by John Farrar and released in 1978 by RSO Records as the second single from Grease. The song is one of the best-selling singles in history to date, having sold over 4 million copies in the United States and the United Kingdom alone, with estimates of more than 15 million copies sold overall. So, Grease was had a huge impact on me. You know, that whole 50s thing, the greaser thing, Olivia Newton-John, just gotta say. So, yeah, definitely one of my beloved films and soundtracks. That was one that we would literally group. You know, you see this in musicals, people break out into songs spontaneously. No, we really did do that in my grade school.
Booger has a comment. Grease Lightning was supposed to be sung by Kanicki, and Jeff Conway was bittered about that for many years. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I can kind of understand that, because I think I would have liked to have. It did have a tonal difference from the other songs that John Travolta was singing, so I really did feel like it didn't fit his character as much. And now that you say that, I really do see it more as a Kanicki kind of song. So I would have liked to have seen that. Yeah.
All right. Netter, do you have any thoughts on Grease soundtrack? Or, I don't know.
Well, I did like the music.
Yep.
And I've seen the movie I don't know how many times. So it was just a fun soundtrack. Really good music. Easy to. Like they used to say in American Bandstand, it's easy to dance to.
They even had an American Bandstand pastiche in the movie too.
So that's true, they did.
Okay, cool.
But I kind of felt sorry for the one chick. She was always super happy and bubbly, and I guess she was the president of every committee because
Patty Simcock.
Yeah, it's like because she's at the year-end party. And she's dancing and having fun, and someone pulls her dress up, and it's just like, it makes her goes running up. And it's like, that was just mean. She wasn't doing anything to anybody. It's like, what jerks.
Yeah. It's true. It's absolutely true.
But yeah, the soundtrack was, I really like the soundtrack for it.
But it is a great soundtrack. Love it.
All right.
What else we got?
Now we move on to my first pick, and sometimes I feel some of the ones on my list are on here out of obligation because you just can't not mention them, and I'm going to go with kind of the movie soundtrack. Oh, hello, Kayla.
Another John Travolta vehicle. Yes. Real quick, when I say hi to Keely Chow, I haven't seen you in a long time, my friend. Good to see you.
Anyway, of course.
Good morning, I should say.
We have to talk about Saturday Night Fever, 1977, one of the biggest soundtracks of all time. I believe that this was known for being released before the movie came out, as almost a way to promote the movie before it came out.
This is the kind of thing that we're talking about, right? Yes. This also launched the Bee Gees into the limelight here in the United States. And it really was a Bee Gees album, which is why the album cover is what it is.
A lot of Bee Gees songs. Other songs too, but they do make up the majority.
Yes. I had, not only did I have this album, I also had the Sesame Street parody album of this. It had Grover doing the dance in the front.
Oh, that's funny.
And it had, I believe it was, I think it was Kermit, Ernie, and Bert in place of the Bee Gees.
I wonder if I saw that when I was a kid. It rings a bell, but I can't quite put my thought on it. But this was the prequel to Staying Alive, right? Yes, Booger, it was the prequel to Staying Alive. I actually like Staying Alive, though it's no
Staying
Saturday Night Fever. I'm fine with it being. It was interesting to see where the character of, oh my goodness, who was he? Who did John Travolta play? Was it Tony? Is that his name?
I was going to say Danny Zuko, but that was
no. Anyway, it's funny because before we started streaming, for the heck of it, while I was prepping my notes, I put this on in the background. It's on Tubi. I kept thinking, oh, I'm not going to pay it. And you think about this movie and think, oh, it's just about a young man going out disco dancing. How can this be interesting? And you get mesmerized as soon as this movie starts, and you are pulled in to this world of this guy who, let's face facts, he's probably not have a lot going on with his life, but he is great on the dance floor. And I want to also ask you, not that I want to get too much into the movie, but is this like a typical 70s Italian family in this when he's yelling, don't touch the hair, and they're all hitting each other at the table?
I wouldn't say typical, but it was very New York Italian of that day. And the other thing too, I didn't know about this. I was pretty young in the 70s. I was not old enough to go to discotheques.
Right.
And I'm coming to realize from what I've found out looking back on it, I think there was a bit of a social fiction to Saturday Night Fever because the reality of the discotheque was, just like bar life today, right? A bunch of people going out, getting drunk, singing, dancing, hooking up, right?
Right.
But specifically the style of dancing and music that became disco in the 70s was predominantly part of the LGB community at the time.
Interesting.
It would have been mostly those kinds of clubs that catered specifically to that lifestyle. And then when Saturday Night Fever came out, it introduced it as though it was a very mainstream kind of thing. And it literally became that. It was like, I guess you could say it was a kind of cultural appropriation from a certain point of view.
So you would argue this movie maybe started the disco craze, or at least
it absolutely did. There's no there is no doubt about. Yes.
Now listen to the songs on the soundtrack. I'm going to go through them. We have "Staying Alive" by the Bee Gees, "How Deep Is Your Love" by the Bee Gees, "Night Fever" by the Bee Gees. You might be tempted to think this is just a Bee Gees album, but let me go through the rest.
But every single one of these songs was released separately on the radio and chart topping. The Bee Gees were huge because of this album. It was like a greatest hits album for them, and they were just starting.
More Than a Woman by the Bee Gees, and If I Can't Have You by Yvonne Elliman.
I love that song, Yvonne Elliman. I actually keep forgetting that song was from this movie because I love that song so much. If I can't have you, I don't want nobody, baby. Oh, Yvonne Elliman. I love
this. Is all on side 1 of the first album. We're not even getting to side 2. A Fifth of Beethoven, the Beethoven. More Than a Woman by Tavares. Manhattan Skyline by David Shire.
Right. Wait. Back up. So that is a reprise of the Bee Gees, More Than a Woman. So you have the disco version of it, and then you got the more kind of romantic-y type of version of it. And if it weren't for Saturday Night Fever, you wouldn't have had Johnny Five in Short Circuit. More Than a Woman.
Yes, that's right. I remember that.
Dancing with Ali Sheedy, right?
Well, they just would have picked a different song.
Yeah. Don't ruin my thing. Don't step on my bets.
Yeah, Geek Flag, if you got the dates for the release, I'd be interested to know about this.
Yeah, the timing was a brilliant marketing move by producer Robert Stigwood. By releasing the music early, the songs became radio hits before the film even hit theaters, creating a massive pre-built audience. The timeline, 1977, September 24, the single "How Deep Is Your Love" was released November 15th. The full album soundtrack was released December 16th. The movie premiered in U.S. theaters. Yeah, that actually is quite brilliant. And that's why I don't always associate these songs with this movie. I have seen the movies, but these songs were in constant rotation on the radio before the movie came out. And honestly, I didn't get to see the movie in theaters. I mean, I don't remember what the rating was, but it was a little bit more.
It was R. No, this is an R-rated movie. This is from the era
There's
of
some
Taxi
boobies
Driver.
in this movie. Donna Pescow.
Yeah.
Whew, I loved her as Angie, but when I got older and saw this movie, I really liked her in this. Let me just say.
This is a gritty 70s movie.
Hoot Owl. I'm sorry, because we don't see the names anymore. All we see is the at. I thought disco was of French club origin and invaded the rock scene. That's, two things can be true. You're absolutely right about that. But before it started hitting the rock scene, it was, think about the Village People and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, the disco was very much the part of the gay scene back then. But there you go.
Calypso Breakdown. That was the last song on side 2.
A lot of people don't realize this about the Bee Gees. I was just talking about this last week, completely unrelated to this. I was talking to Netter about this last week. The Bee Gees were geniuses. They were cutting edge with not only instruments but sound recording. They took full advantage of new technology that nobody else was using. And one of the things that they did was, they sang in falsetto. They did not speak in those really high voices.
No.
That was falsetto. But they also recorded the songs at a slower speed than they intended it to be played. And then they raised the RPM on the album by about 1 RPM.
Interesting.
Raised the voice even higher. Yes.
Just want to name a couple of the other songs on here because I'm not going to go through everyone. But we have Disco Inferno by the Tramps. We have Boogie Shoes by Casey and the Sunshine Band, and we have Open Sesame by Kool and the Gang. I mean, there's a lot.
All of these songs were great releases that I had forgotten were on this soundtrack. I just associate them with the 70s and the radio, But that's an example of me being exposed to the music because it was freely available on the radio, because I didn't get to see the movie until much later. So, yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of interesting thing. Here's some trivia. The Bee Gees' involvement in the film did not begin until post-production. As John Travolta asserted, the Bee Gees weren't even involved in the movie in the beginning. I was dancing to Stevie Wonder and Boz Seeks. Excuse me.
Wow. Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. All that you have to do is have a song of the same meter and beat, and the dance is going to look just fine,
Let me see. The original issue of the album included the original studio version of Jive Talking. Later LP pressings included a version called From Here at Last, Bee Gees Live. All CD releases have included the original Jive Talking. Okay.
And I very much encourage people that if you're a little younger, you've never heard these songs before, check them out. Most of them are available on YouTube. In fact, I would say I know that all of mine are available on YouTube because people put up whole albums. Even if they were never released on the radio, they're probably out there on YouTube on somebody's playlist. Go check these songs out. But honestly, if you're as old as we are, you know these songs.
I knew Jive Talking. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen it, but I didn't remember that being in the movie, even though I know that song, because Beavis and Butt had ridiculed the video they saw. Actually, no, they didn't. They actually liked Jive Talking, which was weird. My brother criticized that at times, saying that Beavis and Butt would not like Jive Talking, that disco is anti-metal.
It kind of is. That's absolutely true. And I was never really a metalhead anyway, so that kind of makes sense. Jive Talk. It's all of these songs I remember from listening on the radio on long, to me, they were very, very long drives to Ohio to visit my family. So, yeah.
Oh, get into a fight with the mom. Yeah, I remember that.
It's been so long. I'm going to have to watch this movie again.
It was interesting when you watch. I mean, you could watch the sequel if you want. I don't have a problem with it, but there's actually a scene in the sequel where he's having he visits his mom, and it's not. It ends kind of
pleasant,
pleasant.
yeah.
It ends kind of pleasant. Like they're on better terms.
Look, the fact is he was a bum. His family called him out for being a bum, but he didn't see it that way. He had some growing up to do.
I kind of look at it this way, though. If he's like, what, 18, 19, though?
He was a friggin' sweat hog, let's be honest.
Yeah, but he was working where his dad was out of work, too. That was another problem with family. Like, yeah, I provided for all these years. In 6 months, I about to work 6 months, and now I'm being treated. It's this disaster. It's just, it's a gritty movie. Like The Golden Child is his older brother, who's a priest, and now he's come home and he's leaving the priesthood. That was another thing.
Yeah,
I kept wondering, was it the same guy that played the priest in The Exorcist, or it's probably a different actor? I keep thinking it's the same guy.
The most compressed film in disco culture, and jive was the comedy Airplane. Yeah, I remember that. What's her name? The mom from Leave It to Beaver talking jive. Oh gosh, this was what was great about movies back then, that just does not exist any longer in Hollywood. This ability to be tongue-in-cheek about race relations.
Oh,
right?
Sure.
I mean,
well, you say that
if you just pay attention to the chat, me interacting with Nate here, it's the white guy, black guy kind of brothers, but with very different colored skin, and we kind of play with each other, and you can't do that anymore. People get pissed off and offended. It's like, you know what? F you. Nate and I are brothers. You can go chase yourself, man.
But there's some serious race stuff in this movie too, though, because I think that there's kind of animosity, I guess, between the Puerto Ricans and the Italian Americans, right? In the city and the dance
honestly, if we're honest, there was beef between the Puerto Ricans and just about the entire Latino community. I am coming to realize more and more that a lot of Latinos see Italians as Latino. I've been talking with I've been talking with Latino Slant about that, and I'm like, I kind of dig that. I kind of see that.
There's some commonalities there.
Barbara Billingsley, right? And Hugh Beaumont was the father. You say one thing, it triggers another memory for me.
But I did want to bring up, though, that prior to the release of
what are you talking about, Troy? Did I offend you, brother?
Prior to the release of Michael Jackson's Thriller, Saturday Night Fever was the best-selling album in music history. Did you know that?
There you go. I did not know that. Yeah,
and
I would have assumed it was an Elvis album, but okay.
No, it stayed on the Billboard's album charts for 120 weeks until March 1980. Canada, the album was on the charts from December 1977 to December 9, 1978. 3 singles from the album contributed by Bee Gees, How Deep Is Your Love, Staying Alive, and Night Fever, along with Yvonne Elliman's If I Can't Have You, all reached number 1 in the U.S. In the UK, the album spent 18 consecutive weeks at number 1. Yep. So huge,
and a lot of that musical success was before the movie came out. So you literally already had a built-in audience, so to speak, for the movie. This is what I'm talking about. This cross-pollination of this synergy of the music and the movies. Absolutely.
And apparently this album was added to the National Recording Registry by the Library of Congress in 2012, being called culturally, historically, and/or aesthetically significant. Okay,
I would agree. I would agree 100%. And keep in mind, this is not like Grease, where this is a musical. It's only a musical in that they needed music to dance to. This was a drama about a dancer.
I think they made a musical out of it, though, because apparently I have some CD from a London.
I have no doubt about that. Yeah, but, this one lends itself very well to Donna Pascal. Oh gosh, I mean, I wasn't into the redheaded brunette type, but still, she was so cute.
Before we move on to the next one, do you have promos?
Holy crap, are we at that point? Let me go ahead and get those out so you guys know what I got coming up this week.
Okay.
So I don't have to talk your ear off at the end of the stream, so that we can just, wrap it up. And we'll be right back. And it's less than 3 minutes, I promise you. We'll be right back.
You are watching Last Call, streaming every Friday night at 9 Central, 10 Eastern. Come on in, pull up a chair, and have a drink with us.
This week on Saturday Night at the Movies, a narcissistic, self-centered weatherman finds himself in a time loop on Groundhog Day. Bill Murray and Andie MacDowell star in the 1993 romantic comedy classic Groundhog Day. This Saturday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Netter's Network Retro Cinema.
Every Sunday evening, Aged Boomer and Last Call with Troy Pacelli bring you the rundown of the week's geek news, or at least what they think is interesting. You may have heard about it elsewhere, but Boomer and Pacelli spin it like only two old geezers can. It's Geeky Geezers, every Sunday evening at 8 Central, 9 Eastern.
This week on Last Call Presents Doctor Who, the crew of the TARDIS find themselves and their ship acting very strangely indeed. Blame runs high for the ship's unusual behaviour, until the Doctor realises the TARDIS itself may be trying to warn them that they might be on the edge of destruction. This Tuesday at 11:30 p.m. Central, 12:30 Eastern.
This week on Live from Sparkwood and 21, after 3 weeks viewing the extended fan edit of Firewalk With Me combined with the missing pieces, the superfans will spend an episode doing a deep dive into this prequel film in relation to the 3 seasons of the show and the greater lore. Join us for some damn fine coffee and pie to die for, and good conversation. This Tuesday at 7:30 Central, 8:30 Eastern on Deleted Scenes and Affiliates.
This week on Last Call presents the return of Sherlock Holmes, believed dead after his fatal encounter with Professor Moriarty 3 years earlier. Sherlock Holmes returns to England to foil a plot to murder him by a former Moriarty gang member and assist Watson in solving a locked room murder from the empty house. This Tuesday at 9 Central, 10 Eastern on Last Call.
Did you top off your glasses? We now return to Last Call.
I did top off my glass, and that's a dangerous thing. It's a dangerous thing.
We have another pick.
Another one of my picks. Okay.
Let's just get to it. We got to start pulling through these. Xanadu!
Gonna say it's another movie of John Travolta.
No, this is another one with Olivia
Newton-John.
Let me. I don't have my notes in the same order you have the stream. Okay, so let me quickly go through the tracks. So we
Take a minute. I can talk about it.
No, I got it. I got the.
I'm trying to do them by year-ish. Okay.
Okay,
yeah.
so this was 1980. Okay.
Yes.
So So yeah, we've left the 70s now. We're into the 80s.
I mean, it's not perfect order, but it's close.
So we have Magic by Olivia Newton-John. Suddenly, a duet with Cliff Richards. Dancing, Olivia Newton-John and the Tubes. Suspended in Time, Olivia Newton-John. Oh, it's a good song, but it wasn't released. Whenever you're away from me, a duet with Gene Kelly. It's a great little dance piece she does with him. I'm Alive. The second side of the album is almost all ELO. I'm Alive, The Fall, Don't Walk Away, and All Over the World. All of that is ELO. And then Xanadu, which is ELO and sung by Olivia Newton-John. Magic, recorded by Olivia Newton-John, written and produced by John Farrar. You're going to hear this name every time I'm talking about Olivia Newton-John. Released as the soundtrack's lead single in May of 1980 and topped the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 for 4 weeks, beginning on the 2nd of August. Suddenly is a duet performed by Olivia Newton-John and Cliff Richards. Fans of the Phantom of the Opera, he appears on the music of Andrew Lloyd Webber album, and is the love theme from Xanadu. It was written and produced by John Farrar. Suddenly reached number 15 on the UK single charts in October of 1980 and number 20 on the US Hot 100 in January of 1981. It finished the year as number 91 on the Billboard year-end Hot 100 singles, of 1981. It was also a major adult contemporary hit, reaching number 4. The music video shows Olivia Newton-John and Cliff Richards in a penthouse singing the song to each other, taken from her ABC TV special Hollywood Nights that aired before the 52nd Academy Awards on April 14th, 1980. And I don't know if this says anything about me. Although I was completely uninterested in the Academy Awards, even back then, I did watch Hollywood Nights because I was in love with Olivia Newton-John. The single's B-side, You Made Me Love You, an Olivia Newton-John solo, was also featured in the film Xanadu, but does not appear on the soundtrack album, which is why you oftentimes want to get the 45 as well as the album, because the 45 sometimes included B-sides that weren't on the album. This was often true with Prince singles. I'm Alive was performed by the Electric Light Orchestra, released as a single in May of 1980. The single's non-album B-side, Drum Dreams, is also featured in the film at the beginning of the Xanadu nightclub grand opening scene and segues into the movie's title song. And you've got people, roller skating and dancing to it. Yeah. Drum Dreams was also used as the B-side on some versions of All Over the World single. All Over the World was performed by Electric Light Orchestra, released after the single Xanadu, a collaboration with Olivia Newton-John. This was the third top 20 ELO single released from the 1980 soundtrack, peaking at number 13 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100. And Xanadu is the title song from the soundtrack, written by Jeff Lynne of ELO. The song is performed by Olivia Newton-John and Lynne, adding parenthetical vocals in the style of the other songs on the Xanadu soundtrack. And ELO provided the instrumentation. What they mean by parenthetic vocals, they're background vocals, but they are very stylized. If you know Xanadu, she sings the melody and he sings the responsorial refrain, and it's in a very robotic type of synthesized voice. Very cool. Very cool. Released as a single in June of 1980, the song reached number 1 in several different European countries and was the band's only UK number 1 single when it peaked there for 2 weeks in July of 1980. It was certified silver by the British phonographic industry. It also peaked at number 8 on the U.S. Billboard charts, Hot 100. And let's be honest, for many of us in the United States, it was our introduction to ELO. Just saying. I love this movie. I love seeing Gene Kelly. I have talked about this movie. Yes, Olivia Newton-John was everywhere. Wait a minute. Troy did the promo, said Doctor Who would be on Tuesday. Did I say that on Tuesday? I'm sorry. It was supposed to be Sunday. I'll have to fix that. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Nate. This is that duet that she does with Gene Kelly. And this is because there's a lot going on here. Xanadu is both a remake and a sequel to 2 different Rita Hayworth movies. It is a remake of Down to Earth, and it is a sequel to... Damn, I'm kind of forgetting. I'm forgetting the movie it's a sequel to, and the reason it's a sequel to is because Gene Kelly is playing the same character. In a way, Olivia Newton-John is reprising the role that Rita Hayworth plays as Pacelli, the Greek muse of Greek mythology. CoverGirl. Thank you very much. And we know that CoverGirl and Down to Earth take place in the same narrative universe because in Down to Earth, somebody is reading a newspaper article, as they did back then, and they'd focus in on what they were reading. And there was a little ad off to the side that said, check out, so-and-so's club, and they were talking about Gene Kelly's club from CoverGirl. So, yeah. And so in a way, it's a sequel and it's a remake of Down to Earth, and it's kind of brilliant. And I loved Gene Kelly in it. It kind of started my love for Gene Kelly. I went back and started watching all the old Gene Kelly movies, Singing in the Rain, so on and so forth. But yeah, this was some good stuff. Purple BTW says, Alabama John said he wants to talk to you right now. He is also live on Rumble. Come by when you can. I'm going to be going for a while yet, so I may or may not get there. By all means, if he wants to do a collab, have him DM me on the X or drop a comment down below or whatever. But boy, thanks so much for that, Purple BTW. I super appreciate that. I also kind of like these very 80s graphics. That's kind of really cool stuff.
Don Bluth.
Oh, Wolverine Sniggett's stopping in to like and share. Thank you so much.
Oh, what is it? Schnick? Like when he would bring his blade out of his
hand.
Exactly
right.
And usually impale.
Wait, back up, go back.
Up.
That artwork.
It's Don Bluth.
You know who the art? Yeah, it's Don Bluth.
Don Bluth,
absolutely
former Disney animator. It has a very Disney look to it.
And who went on to do The Secret of Nim, and didn't he also do Anastasia? And he did some other.
Yes. He did Anastasia. He did the Dragon's Lair video game series. Yeah, he did a lot of stuff actually. Yeah. Titan AE, that was one of his too. I think that was one of his last big features.
I don't think I saw that one. I'll have to check that one out.
Oh, it's a science fiction. You might find it interesting. I think it's Don Bluth's last feature. Made a year before Atlantis: Lost Empire from Disney. The two films are kind of similar.
That was also a very underrated film.
Yeah. You might find some similarities there. They were a year apart, but they're sort of tackling the whole adventure thing, except one's underwater, the other's in space. But yeah.
And so, by the way, that little blue bird is supposed to be Michael Beck.
Yes, and I think she turns into a bird too, right? So
yes, she does. Yeah.
Okay.
It's very similar to the animation from The Sword and the Stone.
Yeah.
If you could do a compare and contrast, you're like, oh, I see the connection there.
Let's see, Dragon's Lair and Black Cauldron. I think everybody worked on Black Cauldron. That was the problem. It was like, I think Tim Burton at one point was connected with it. It was like they kept going through people
and
on that production.
Am I wrong? Oh yeah, he said it himself. And Space Ace.
Ace. I remember Space Ace. Yeah, there's another one he did.
And nowadays, because of the blessings and curses of YouTube. Ooh, I'm getting some apple pie. Netter made some apple pie earlier in the week.
What?
It's kind of a caramel apple.
Well, on that note, why don't I move on to mine? Okay.
Wait. I wanted to finish what I was saying though about Dragon's Lair and Space Ace. Those games, as cutting edge as they were, the animation was the visuals.
Yes.
And you would try to move the character.
Yes.
And you had to move it at just the right time. And it had a horrible response time. It was incredibly frustrating. But nowadays, all of that footage is available on YouTube, and you can just watch a playthrough of both of those games. And there you go.
It was probably the originator of what we now call the QuickTime event.
Yeah, kind of right. Equally annoying sometimes.
Yeah, people get mad at QuickTime events. They're like, they keep doing it in the industry. People say, stop doing it. The players don't like it. They don't like QuickTime events, and they don't like escort missions. Stop it.
And
all
they hate loot crates.
Well, that's a whole nother animal, but yeah.
All
right, should I move on?
Yeah, go ahead.
This one is near and dear to my heart. I know this. This is why when Troy mentioned, I'm like, you're not doing this. I'm the one doing this one. Heavy Metal.
Oh yeah.
1981.
That's fair. Now, I do have to say this about Heavy Metal. Whereas I think that Saturday Night Fever was the the perfect example of the synergy that I was talking about, where the music was made for the movie, it was released in advance of the movie, and got people to want to go see the movie. Heavy metal was kind of a different animal. This was music by different artists that wasn't made specifically for the movie, and they licensed it to use it in the movie. It had the same impact of getting people to want to see the movie, loving the music and so forth, but it caused some licensing problems later on. I'm sure you're going to get to.
We're going to get into that. It's interesting you mentioned, though, because apparently Blue Oyster Cult wrote and recorded a song called Vengeance the Pact for the film, but producers declined to use the song because the lyrics provided a capsulized summaries of Tarn and Vignette, so Veteran of the Psychic Wars was instead used by Blue Oyster Cult. So they actually tried writing an original song for the movie, and you can find it on one of the other Blue Oyster Cult albums, and I have that album, but it wasn't used. Let me read a bit about this. This is from Wikipedia, but I have other sources too. But soundtrack was released on LP in 1991 for legal reasons, was not released on CD until 1995. That could be right. I remember I purchased the CD in 1996 to coincide with the re-release of the VHS. Let me go ahead. I'm going to read this. It was a
in fact, it held up the release of the physical media for the film for a while too.
This was a disaster.
Yes, it was.
I caught it. First time I caught heavy metal, it was on regular television on TNT with commercials, and of course, the fun parts edited out. Okay, for public TV. But how heavy metal soundtrack became
because those animated boobies were just so damn hot, right?
You know something. Keep quiet. You know they use real women to model a lot of those. I'm just saying. All right. Anyway.
It doesn't matter. They were all covered up with animation, so, whatever.
You know what? Whatever floats your boat, dude. Anyway, how the heavy metal soundtrack became an 80s time capsule by David Kuno.
I mean, because for crying out loud, what's her name? What's the girl's name?
You leave Tarna alone if you're going after her. You leave her alone.
No. I was going to say the gal from Beetlejuice and
Winona Ryder.
Ryder, yeah, she's nude in what was that movie we watched last Monday? But she's all covered up by animation, so you can't see nothing. So what the heck, You just imagine.
I don't know.
I know that she's got boobs underneath those clothes that I usually see her in.
Anyway, So look at this album. This is Black Sabbath from the Dio years, not Ozzy. Cheap Trick, Devo, Donald Fagen, Don Felder, Grand Funk Railroad, Sammy Hagar.
Journey was the one I think that held it up the most.
See, this is different. You and I. That's probably your favorite song in the album.
No. I actually don't even remember.
It's my least favorite song in the album, and it's fine. It's a ballad. It's a love ballad. Okay, it
was, and they had some good ones. But it actually annoyed me because it was.
Open Arms. That's the name of the song.
I love Open Arms.
Yes.
But I didn't care that it was on the heavy metal album.
Okay.
The problem was that because it was holding up the rights on this. So I was like, damn it.
Well, this was interesting, and I think what eventually let me read a little bit from this article. The soundtrack, like the film, is an odd mixed bag. Both are interesting time capsule for early 80s pop culture. The magazine was owned by the same company that published National Lampoon, and a lot of Lampoon-style humor and irreverence creeps into the movie. But the soundtrack also captures the landscape of music that was starting to change at the beginning of the decade, with old-school hard rockers like Grand Funk Railroad sharing space with new wave weirdos Devo. The release of both the DVD and CD, he's wrong here. It wasn't DVD yet. It was VHS, I remember. The release of both the VHS and CD were held up for 16 years because of the music rights. Heavy Metal saw a brief re-release to theaters in 1996 to test the waters for a home video version. A lot of it is now dated, but it's a fascinating document that tried to push the boundaries of what hand-drawn animation's possibilities. Okay, I don't think it's dated, but that's just me because I'm old, okay? I love this movie, but let me talk about the soundtrack a bit. I remember, like I just said earlier, I did not have access to this movie growing up. It was out in theaters. My mom's not going to take me to see this at 4 years old. Okay, that's not going to happen.
No, absolutely.
And I couldn't catch it on videotape. And then 1996, I got my driver's license, could drive down to the mall, and I knew this was coming out. I went to the video store. I had a friend that worked there, and I don't know if he was working there or something else, and they had the new released VHS of Heavy Metal. They had the book, The Making of Heavy Metal. I wish I'd picked that up. I should have, but of course I wasn't made of money then. I think I had a part-time job. And then I also picked up the CD soundtrack with it. And the CD soundtrack was a big deal because the 2 LPs that it came with originally were on one CD. And it had every song from the movie except for "Through Being Cool" by Devo. They had "Working in a Coal Mine" by Devo on here, not "Through Being Cool." I had to get that on Devo's greatest hits. I have since sought out other songs. Apparently, some of the music interludes during the Barbarian scene in the Tarna segment. That's actually from a Black Sabbath album, which I actually compiled a playlist on my iTunes that combines the score, the Elmer Bernstein score, which was released by La La Land much later, and the soundtrack, and tried to order it to go along with the movie. That's how obsessed I am with the soundtrack.
I dig it.
But the movie begins with that, the narration.
57 Corvette, landing,
And what's funny
also
is
rotoscoped.
And the guy playing the Lochnar doing the overview, he was famous for doing a lot of movie trailer voiceovers. Like he was the guy who was always on In a World, that sort of stuff. That was him. And he's the voice of the Lochnar in this. And then as soon as you see a space shuttle, and then out from the space shuttle comes the Corvette, and then you hear Radar Rider, and boom, it's off. And it's just sorry. I love this soundtrack.
Joe's Atmosphere saw this so many years, so many times at the midnight movies. This one, The Warriors and Rocky Horror.
Oh, dude, the Warriors.
Rocky Horror almost made it onto this list.
We'll do this again sometime, Troy. Don't
absolutely.
Worry, because there's more. Because there are ones I wanted to put on this list, but I had to cut out, including another '90s movie. But
Don LaFontaine, In a World Gone Mad.
The album peaked at number 12 on the Billboard 200 chart. The film's theme song, Heavy Metal Taking a Ride, was sung by Don Felder. It was released as a single in the U.S. and reached number 43 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 5 on the mainstream rock chart September 19th, 1981. Blue Oyster, and let's see here. Legal difficulties surrounding the use of some songs delayed in recent home media. Production company's use of song was limited solely to theatrical release and soundtrack and did not include home media release. It's funny how time echoes things. Like there was a problem with DVD releases of TV shows because of music rights. It was only allowed for broadcast. Like apparently The Fugitive couldn't get the score on it. Which was
and see, because here's the other thing. You were pointing out that you were putting together a list, a playlist of all of these songs. The reason that you could do that is because, again, these were all licensed songs from other things. Like, for example, the Stevie Nicks song that appears on this is A Blue Lamp, and this comes from her Belladonna album.
Yeah.
So, it was a licensed song, and I'm assuming they must have worked something out with her, and there you go. But
I think so. Let me see what happened. It wasn't until 1996 that there was an official home media release in VHS when Kevin Eastman, who had bought the publishing rights of Heavy Metal Magazine in 1992 and previously contributed to the magazine, reached a settlement with the music copyright holders. The original LP contained 4 tracks per side and was programmed in stackable order A, D, C, B, C. Rhino Records reissued the 2 LP collection in 2017, programmed in standard order A, B, C, D as part of the Rocktober collection. Okay, so you can rebuy this on vinyl now, or at least you could. There's another thing about the Elmer Bernstein score on here, which is, to be fair, is a great score. It's funny, he did the score for the 10 Commandments, and there's a joke John Candy's character Den makes. It says, "This looks like a scene right out of the 10 Commandments," and of course the guy doing the music you're hearing in the background is by the same guy that wrote the score for the 10 Commandments.
Exactly.
But no, there's lots of music. I'm picking this is from the Captain Stern segment. What the heck? Darn it! Excuse me. What the heck was played during here? Not Crazy, Not True. Reach Out. Reach Out was from Cheap Trick was played during the Captain Stern segment.
Right.
And I forget, what is this? So Beautiful, So Deadly, or so this segment here, it's wonderful. I don't know what it's in the movie. It has nothing to do with the Lochnar, but it's there.
It did. The guy that was on trial had some connection.
Oh please, yeah, he saw the it was on her necklace and it made him go nuts or something. Oh no,
Right.
You're thinking of Captain Stern. This next segment, this is the one about the robot hitting on the Earth Girl, which apparently I've read.
I would too. I mean, if I was the robot. I mean,
and then she says he wants to get married, and he says, "Okay, but we need to have a Jewish wedding." Which I
yes, exactly.
I'm sorry. It's just
funny,
it's. I don't care. I mean, I kind of think this segment here they could have just made a whole movie out of it and maybe left it out of the red. But it's fun. Yeah. But a lot of songs are in this segment. I feel like they threw a ton of songs in here, like Queen Bee from Grand Funk Railroad.
You can't have a movie called Heavy Metal and not have a bunch of.
Well, that's the thing. I guess they're harder rock songs in here, but are they really what we would call metal too? Because
probably not.
The magazine was called Heavy Metal because it's a French translation. So I think I don't know which term came from what. Did heavy metal music get the term?
Yeah, there is no way
that I don't know.
Stevie Nicks and Journey could fall into the heavy metal category.
There's some good rock songs on here though, and I like the fact
that
Devo's on here.
It's a great soundtrack, which is basically why we're talking about it tonight.
I mean, True Companion. It's okay. I mean, yeah. But yeah, that's heavy metal. I could go on forever about this soundtrack, but I still own it. I own that CD I purchased back in 1996. Stuck it in my iTunes, listen to my iPod all the time. That's one thing about CDs.
It's funny because I have all of these albums. I have them in multiple versions. I got them in CDs. I got them in LP. I got them in cassette. Cool. But I mostly listen to them online right now.
I do have. I told you a little while back. I splurged and I got myself a decent boom box because there is a company out there that makes decent boom boxes, and I did play a couple CDs in this and like, oh, that's what that sounds like. Okay, I'd forgotten what it felt like to play songs in a boom box, but in a world gone mad, heavy metal is making a comeback in France. They're big in the comics over there.
Yeah.
I'll be curious to see what they produce. So yeah, that's interesting. But that's heavy metal. I could go on forever with this, but we have to move on. The hour is nigh. Let's go on to Troy's pick, which is
Hard to Hold, 1984. So this was a Rick Springfield album. And really, this is how a lot of people think of it. They just think of it as a Rick Springfield album. If you're a big Rick Springfield fan, you definitely got this album. I'm not sure how many people were huge fans of the movie and or the album. I gotta say, it wasn't that popular of a movie, and I wouldn't have even been aware of it if it hadn't been for cable TV. My mom was a bit of a Rick Springfield fan because he came out of General Recording Studios. And that's a joke. I mean, he appeared on the show General Hospital. And a number of artists started out on General Hospital when they were trying to make it in the music industry. But this movie, Hard to Hold, good movie. I liked it. Soundtrack, I loved it. I got this album. About half the songs are by Rick Springfield. The one release song was Love Somebody by Rick Springfield. Let me back up. Let me read my notes here. Hard to Hold is the 8th studio album by Rick Springfield, released in March of 1984 by RCA Records as the soundtrack to the film of the same name. The album included the U.S. top 5 hit Love Somebody, the top 40 hit Don't Walk Away, and Bop Till You Drop, plus minor hits Taxi Dancing, a duet with Randy Crawford. Beautiful song. Really a beautiful song. In addition to Springfield appearing on the soundtrack, there are 3 tracks from other artists. When the Lights Go Down by Graham Parker, Heart of a Woman by Nora Hendricks, and I Go Swimming, a live version of the song by Peter Gabriel. The album was later remastered by Stephen Hoffman for Razor and Tie reissue label. Love Somebody was released in 1984 as the first single from the soundtrack for Hard to Hold. Cashbox said the song demonstrates Springfield's improvement as a songwriter since he began his pop music. This song was a top 5 hit on the Billboard Top 100. Most of the other songs, as great as they were and as much as I love them, weren't huge chart toppers. Like I said, Taxi Dancing, which is a duet with Randy Crawford, you wouldn't expect it to be, the kind of a tune for Rick Springfield. And it's the only song that I know of by Randy Crawford. She's got a great voice. I'm going to have to look and see if she did any other songs that I might know of. But it's one of those really bittersweet ballad type songs. Love Somebody, Don't Walk Away, and Bop Till You Drop are very high-paced songs, and all three of which featured on my high school workout album. I used to put it into the cassette deck when I'd go down to the gym in school. We'd all put up with each other's music, and everyone would look at my music and be like, "You're pumping metal, but you're playing songs that work for aerobics." I'm like, I don't know what to tell you guys. This stuff pumps me up. What can I tell you? But The Great Lost Art of Conversation, another great ballad by Rick Springfield. Very interesting song. I just, you have to listen, and all of these, this whole album is available on YouTube. It's worth checking out. You're going to look at it and go, I don't even know this song. You know?
Is Jessie Girls on this album? Jessie's Girl?
No.
Okay. I'm not familiar with this movie at all.
That was his big release before.
Yeah.
That's
okay.
So.
I need to watch this movie, I guess. Okay.
I've never seen it. You can, if you are a member, you can vote to have us watch it on Monday.
All right. But yeah, here we go. So worth seeing, though, you're saying?
Yes, I liked it, but mostly I loved the soundtrack. This was one of those movies that was on constant rotation on cable, so I saw it a bunch of times.
Oh, that explains it.
Was good. I liked it, but really I loved the music, and I just went out and I got the album. And I would do this. I would see these movies on cable, and I got to get this soundtrack. I got to get that soundtrack. I love this song. I love that song. I got to get the album.
This was an HBO movie, I bet, on HBO. I had Showtime. That explains it. I'll look for it.
Yeah, even Joe's Atmosphere is saying, yeah, this is kind of a deep cut, Troy. Hard to hold. Yeah, it is. I'm not saying that all of these were popular. I'm not saying that all of these worked, but I liked them. They were important to me.
And also, we are covering the soundtrack.
Right, exactly.
More than the movie itself. That's sort of what we're going on here. But, yeah, cool.
And you can still hear, you can still hear the Love Somebody on the oldies channels, and on the radio these days still. So
cool.
Another boomer pick.
Boomer's pick. Weird Science, 1985.
Boingo! Yes.
Yeah. And I know when we were talking about this before, or we were going to do soundtracks or songs, right here for this instance, I'm just going to do the song. I'm not knocking the rest of the songs on the album either. Problem with this album is, up until last year, and I didn't realize this, I realized this years ago, I tried looking for the soundtrack to buy it, and you can't. It's one of these things that came out on vinyl, and then the soundtrack never emerged again. It came out on original release. Now, I think they finally released it on a CD last year, or even a re-release of the vinyl last year, so you can now get it. I mean, there are other songs on here. I like Killing Joke's song 80s on here. It's very good, but I'm mainly here to focus on the song Weird Science.
Right.
And Weird Science is a song by American New Wave band Oingo Boingo, written by frontman Danny Elfman. And of course, that's his voice. You can hear it in the song.
Yes, it is.
Yes. And released on the film soundtrack as well as Oingo Boingo's fifth album, Dead Man's Party, in 1985. Now, I bought Dead Man's Party, and I was actually very elated to find out that there was another Oingo Boingo song in there that was used in Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Which was the, I think No One Lives Forever. I think that was the name of it. It's, that's another classic Oingo Boingo song. But apparently, with the recording of this, the song was spontaneously written by Elfman in his car while driving home to Los Angeles after a phone call from director John Hughes asking him to write a song for his movie the same name. Elfman claimed to have heard the whole thing in his head by the time he ran home to his studio to record his demo. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah, and I've heard this about. There's a number of artists that have done that. I could list about 5 songs where artists have said that, and that's the way inspiration works. It really is.
This, in my opinion, it's one of my favorite title sequence songs ever for a movie. Because, of course, the movie starts out, there's a wonderful bit in there with the 2 nerds getting their pants pulled down in front of all the young ladies at the gym.
Yes.
And then it goes into, and then we don't even know what's going to happen next. And then suddenly it just goes into the Weird Science and all that 80s the 80s electricity effect that we all know so well. You know, like shooting out from Jedi or Short Circuit getting all the electricity effects. They're in here too, and it's all in the credits, and it's Weird. I don't want to get you copyrighted, but Weird Science.
No, we won't get copyrighted. We're not that good as singers.
But the music, the song, there was a music video for this as well, featuring the band performing in an abstract laboratory. The video appeared on a number of different edits when broadcast, some featuring clips from the John Hughes and other versions without. Elfman later expressed embarrassment at the video, stating that he was horrified by the outcome and it was the only Oingo Boingo music video in which he had not been involved with production. Elfman had long felt that the song, a more commercial musical style than most of the band's previous releases at the time, was not really a part of the band's repertoire.
Yeah.
I think you're knocking this song too much. I think it's a great Oingo Boingo song.
I love it. I'm not saying anything negative.
Well, not him. I'm not saying you. It's him.
Oh, okay.
But there we go, Kelly LeBrock. Oh,
God, she was smoking. She's still smoking hot. You know, she retired from acting, and you know what she's doing now?
What?
She owns a farm.
Good for her.
She literally works a farm, and she's got the bod that tells you she works.
I get you.
I gotta tell you.
Who's that?
Bill Paxton.
Bill Paxton.
Oh, yeah.
as his brother Chet, remember, who comes home and he was in the army, I guess. So he's,
how about I make you a nice greasy sandwich and I serve it to you in a dirty ashtray.
There we have Robert Downey Jr. I forget the actor to the left. He showed up in a lot of things too. I like how they have a similar look to each other as the 2 bullies, right?
Ah, God, I don't remember. What I do remember, however, is that Vernon Wells appeared in this movie, and he basically reprises his role from that Mad Max movie he was in.
Yes, he does. You're correct. In fact, the whole point of that scene was John Hughes said, "We're going to have the Terminator. We're gonna have we're gonna have the guy from the villain from the Road Warrior, and we're gonna have the villain from what was it?
The Hills Have Eyes.
The Hills Have Eyes, and they actually got the villain from the Road Warrior, the actor, and the guy that played the creepy hillbilly in the Hills Have Eyes. And I'm like, they both Terminator. They can't get Arnold, of course. They had some other guy, but that was what it's supposed to be. Like 2 or 3 worst things to show up at your party to mess with your guests, and it's those guys.
And it was absolutely friggin' brilliant. It was absolutely friggin' brilliant.
Oh, I love this movie. And Vernon Wells actually showed up in an X-Files episode once, actually.
Vernon Wells also showed up in Trouble Is My Business,
really?
the Tom Conkle film. Yep.
But and of course there's that being turned into that thing at the end. I know your go-to John Hughes will always be Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but for me it's always Weird Science. I love
every John Hughes film is like
almost tied with every other one. Yeah. I mean I love Planes, Trains, and Automobiles too, but I I love this movie, and I love the theme song. And now that the soundtrack's finally available, I may actually go pick it up. And,
they
try to
made
give
a
it a proper
TV
listen
series
to.
about this too.
They
So the
did.
Weird Science Oingo Boingo song got some extended play
for the intro credits.
TV
And
series.
for what the few episodes I saw of the series, I liked. It was following a similar formula to the movie. I liked the actress they had in there too. So
I mean, she was cute, but she was no Kelly LeBrock.
No,
but
I thought she was pretty good. She actually showed up in some movies as well too. But
her name was Vanessa something Angel, I think. Vanessa Angel.
I think so. Yeah. Robert Russler. Okay, he's the one that played.
Who I think she also didn't. Vanessa Angel also appear in like some.
I think she was
like
in a
Highlander the series or something like that.
In what?
I want to say Highlander the series, I think.
Oh, wouldn't surprise me. Robert Russler, following Weird Science, became known for playing Grady in A Nightmare on Elm Street 2, Freddy's Revenge, and Ronnie in
That's
Crashing.
right. That's right. Thank you, Nate.
He was also the evil greaser in the adaptation of Stephen King's Sometimes They Come Back.
I don't think I've ever seen that
one. It was weird because it was a made-for-TV Stephen King movie, but when you bought the DVD, it was in widescreen. It was so weird. It's like, did they show this in Europe as an actual movie?
That's entirely possible.
He was an evil undead greaser from the 50s in that. Yes.
That's funny.
Okay, but
that's right up there with the scene in a Fallout where they're being attacked by a band of Elvis impersonator ghouls.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, Weird Science, classic song. I've actually sung it at karaoke nights. I don't know if I've ever done it on
That's
one
right.
of your karaoke.
You did. No, you did it on one of mine. Yeah,
I did. Okay, yeah. So I do love that song. It's a hard one though to do karaoke though. So moving on to your pick.
Which one is this one?
Let's go to St. Elmo's Fire.
St. Elmo's Fire. This one had now. See, I did say that we were talking about songs, but one of the big releases from St. Elmo's Fire was actually an instrumental piece. So let me get into it.
It's okay.
Yeah. So let me just list off the songs real quick. So we have St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion by John Parr, Shakedown by Billy Squier, great song. Young and Innocent by Elefante. Oh, it's a beautiful song. Oh, it's beautiful. This Time It Was Really Right by John Anderson. Saved My Life by Free Waybill. The Love Theme from St. Elmo's Fire, which was an instrumental by David Foster, as was Georgetown and the reprise of the Love Theme. The Love Theme was also, well, I'll get to that in just a second. If I Turn You Away by Vicki Moss, that's a beautiful one too. Stressed Out, also called Close to the Edge by Airplay. Things keep going from bad to worse. St. Elmo's Fire, Man in Motion is a song by John Parr that is the theme to the 1985 film St. Elmo's Fire. It reached number 1 on the U.S. Billboard Hot 100 charts on the 7th of December, 1985, remaining there for 2 weeks. The record peaked at number 6 in the UK, Parr's home country. The song yielded Parr a Grammy nomination as well. The love theme from St. Elmo's Fire is the theme from the 1985 film St. Elmo's Fire by David Foster. It was performed in 2 versions. One is the instrumental by Foster, released as a single, and another with lyrics by Cynthia Weil and performed as a duet by Amy Holland and Donnie Gerard, subtitled For Just a Moment, because, lyrics. Released as a single in the United States, the instrumental version of the theme reached number 15 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 3 on the adult contemporary charts. It eventually saw regular airplay on smooth jazz radio stations as well. So obviously the For Just a Moment has the exact same melody as the love theme instrumental. It is just a slightly slower tempo. Also, Georgetown uses a lot of the same. It's not the same melody exactly, but it uses a lot of the. It's clearly a related song. It's got some of the same phrases of music within it. More of a well, it's called Georgetown, so it's got this very Oktoberfestish kind of air to it. Oh God, I can't say enough about this soundtrack. I got the soundtrack because of the 3 different renditions of the instrumental and because of the John Parr song. But every song on here is wonderful, and there are some great ballads that literally just bring a tear to your eye. Definitely worth checking out. And as you're kind of showing some scenes from the movie, this is obviously another one of those Rat Pack films. Rob Lowe was in it. Demi Moore's right there. I'm drawing a blank on what his name was.
Andrew McCartney.
Andrew McCarthy, right? Who Big Al says has a punchable face. Ali Sheedy and Mayor Winningham.
Yeah.
In this
there they are.
Scene as well. Absolutely. I love this movie.
The Brat Pack is what they called them, right? And it was
exactly.
I know there was a line Rob Lowe says about premarital sex instead, because
premarital sex. Yeah, exactly.
But no, I mean,
we did do a rewatch of this, I think, fairly recently on. Oh, that's right. Emilio Estevez was in this movie too. Yeah.
And everybody.
We did a rewatch of this not too long ago. What's it? Judd Nelson? Is that
Judd Nelson? That's who it is. Yes.
Yeah. So you got three of the 5 kids from
Breakfast Club.
Breakfast Club. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. We did a rewatch of this on. I want to say it was one of the Monday night movies. So I would suggest the members maybe not vote for this one because I forgot we'd watched this recently.
Gotcha. So moving on. Anything else to say about the soundtrack, though? I mean, it's. I know the theme. I know the piano instrumental theme, right? Yeah.
Oh God, it's beautiful. Yeah. And well, I can't hear it now without wanting to sing. For just a moment. Yeah. We laughed until we had to cry, and we loved right down to our last goodbye. We were the best I think we've ever been, just you and me, for just a moment.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful. I certainly can't do it justice because I can't sing as well as Donnie Gerald, and it is a duet. So definitely check it out. Of course, all of these soundtracks are available on YouTube. Check them out.
So moving on to Boomer's pick. What do I have here? What did I pick? Let's see here. Less Than Zero, 1987.
Wait a minute. We do have a comment that I want to acknowledge. I want to say hi to Travis Mitchell. Good to see you, my friend. How's it going, guys? St. Elmo's Fire is kind of hilarious for how the whole movie is Rob Lowe trying to get in all his friends' pants, then making them watch him play sex. You know what? He's not wrong. That's pretty much true. Yes, there is more to it if you're watching it from the point of view of the other characters. I mean, you could also say that it's about Demi Moore just trying to hide the fact that she's lost her job and she's not sleeping with her boss, and a number of other things. But that is one perspective. That's very true, Travis. Thanks. But yeah.
My next pick is Less Than Zero. Are you familiar with this movie?
I know I saw it, but I don't remember the details.
Here's a problem. This is almost turning into a piece of what we call lost media. There is no Blu-ray. It is not streaming anywhere. I looked. I don't know where it went. You can still get a bare bones DVD, and by bare bones I mean it's just got the trailer and scene selection, which they used to say, "Well, that's a special feature." Not really. I just looked
it up.
Yeah.
I do remember Robert Downey Jr. and James Spader in it. I had forgotten that Andrew McCarthy was in it, and I realized why I probably didn't bother watching it on its original release. The female lead is Jamie Gertz. Not a big Jamie Gertz fan.
I know. Okay, I thought
Netter really doesn't like her, but she has reason.
Well, I just figured this would be a great one for a Saturday night. So, Big Al and Netter can both have.
Well, I can guarantee you, Netter won't be playing it because we don't have the movie. I have no intention of getting. But this is another one with Andrew McCarthy.
Yeah. And this is Robert Downey Jr. It's been a number of years. I was going to try to rewatch or at least watch parts of it before the stream, but again, it's nowhere. It is nowhere. But again, I'm here to talk about the soundtrack, though. But I remember at the time, there's James Spader.
James Spader, yeah.
Is he a drug dealer in this, I believe?
What's funny is seeing James Spader and Robert Downey Jr., who would eventually come back together in the Avengers.
Well, they did that on purpose. I knew when they cast him as, of course, he's going to be the voice of Ultron, so they could have Tony Stark versus Ultron, and it would be this kind of a reunion for them. Yeah. But he's looking pretty bad there. He has a drug problem in this movie. But
drug problem in real life too.
Well, that's the thing, yeah. But this had quite a soundtrack, though. Less Than Zero was the soundtrack to the album of the 1987 drama film, Less Than Zero. It was released on November 6th through Def Jam Columbia Records and consisted of a variety of music genres, including hard rock, pop punk, hip-hop, heavy metal, and contemporary R&B, with most of the album being produced by Rick Rubin. The soundtrack found success, peaking at 31 on Billboard 200 and 22 in the top R&B hip-hop albums, and was certified gold by Recording Industry Association America on February 8th, 1988. 4 singles made it to the Billboard charts: the Black Flames cover of Are You My Woman, Tell Me So, and Public Enemy's Bring the Noise were minor hits on the R&B charts, while LL Cool J's Going Back to Cali and the Bangles cover of A Hazy Shade of Winter.
Hazy Shade of Winter, yes. And Nate was just saying that it outperformed the Simon and Garfunkel version. That's
interesting. I kind of like that version. It was on my 80s Christmas album.
This is a great example of another one where, look, I know this Hazy Shade of Winter by the Bangles because I was a huge Bangles fan. Did not really quite associate it with this movie, but kind of makes sense. I do see kind of weak cross-pollination, but it's there nonetheless, you know.
But it's kind of weird, though, because you have on the soundtrack a cover of Kiss's Rock and Roll All Night performed by Poison.
Yes, you do. You also have a cover of Rockin' Pneumonia and the Boogie Woogie Flu performed by Aerosmith.
Yeah. And it's weird. You also have like I said, it has a Slayer song and a Gotta Vita by Slayer.
And a Roy Orbison song as well.
Yeah, and Public Enemy. I mean, it kind of runs the gamut
there is something pretty much for everyone on this album, I think.
Let's see here though, but they actually didn't follow.
Oh, wait a minute. I think people now associate Hazy Shade of Winter with Stranger Things, as it was playing as Barb is pulled into the pool in season 1. I didn't remember that. But you know what? There is a lot of great music that was used in Stranger Things, and I'm thankful for it because it has introduced a new generation to some of my favorite music from my childhood. So I'm kind of glad about that. Yeah, that's absolutely true. And welcome to FKHC 2005, also known as Tim.
Okay.
Yeah, see, you got to get used to the Patient.
That's his new joke.
Patience, my friend. A PSA, if you show anything from the Winter Olympics that is going on now, the IOC will block the stream or take it down midstream. I didn't even know that there was a Winter Olympics happening right now, so that there's no danger of that, my friend.
Yeah. But let's see.
Talk about a soundtrack, though. Dun, 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 dun. I don't know what that tune is called, but I like it.
think it's
I've heard it all my
classical.
life.
Let's see though. It's funny. One review of this says, "Not everything works. Are we going to believe Poison's Paint by the Numbers cover of 1975 Kiss single Rock and Roll All Night caused a brownout during the big Christmas Coke party?" But it's all very much of its time. It's funny. I was listening to the Poison song. I'm like, this sounds like the Kiss version. I mean, maybe I got to listen to both side by side to get the differences. But
I wanna rock and roll all night.
and party everywhere. But I do like the Hazy Shades of Winter. I mean, there's a lot of good stuff on here. But again, I think much like the movie, this thing's kind of disappeared, the soundtrack. But at the time, you're having a lot of different genres, and I think it was supposed to evoke what people were listening to at the time when this came out.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But yeah, someone was mentioning it as kind of a ending, sort of like Midnight Cowboy, which I think they're right.
True.
But
and given the fact that you have a lot of covers here, especially like, you think about the Bangles and Hazy Shade of Winter, it's a lot of like what I've been talking about, where the nostalgia, right? Where and my mom went through this. Netter and I went through this with the subsequent generations. We were at my uncle's, I want to say 60th birthday party or something like that. And it was a buffet, so we're in line to get our food. And they were playing, they had a DJ playing music from that my uncle and my mom grew up with. And they were playing, I'm a Believer by the Monkees, I want to say. And
yeah, that sounds right.
And one of the kids behind us was like, "Oh, I know this song. This is that song from Shrek." And we both were like, "Oh, no."
At least they know it.
Well, at least that, exactly. That's an excellent point. And I was talking about this during Liquid Lunch. I've been really getting reacquainted with, my first love of music, which is, that 40s and 50s type music, the Dean Martin and all that kind of stuff that my grandfather and my mom introduced me to because of Fallout. Fallout has an incredible soundtrack. Yeah. Some of them are the original artists. Some of them are covers. I was watching a YouTube video specifically about that, talking about the Cole Porter song, Anything Goes, and talking about different versions of it. And well, the one he didn't mention was the Anything Goes in Mandarin by Mrs. Steven Spielberg in
Kate Capshaw.
Kate Capshaw in Indiana Jones, yeah. Not quite the same song when she sings it.
I like it, though.
I like it fine. It's kind of ruined by one of the dancing girls behind her because.
Well, anyway, I'm paying more attention to Kate during those scenes.
Yeah, fair enough.
Troy's pick. We're going to get to your last one. It's your last one because I go last.
Okay.
About Last Night, 1986.
Now, this one is probably, although it's one of my favorite soundtracks on this list, I don't know, they're all pretty close to the top.
Yes.
I don't know that many of these were even released.
This is the album. I have it right here.
Yes, it is. But I don't believe that these were individual releases. There's two great songs on here by Sheena Easton, So Far So Good and Natural Love. And I know them from this album, and I don't think I ever heard them on the radio. There's a John Oates song called She's the Shape of Things to Come. I think that might have been used in another movie, too. I'm not sure. Jermaine Jackson has a song called Words into Action. Great song. A beautiful duet, J.D. Souther and Kara Bonoff. Step by Step. I tell you, that song gets me emotional every single time. Heart in hand like a kid on a corner, waiting for the light to change, till he can't wait any longer. Time speeds up and stops for a minute, but it's baiting in my brain, couldn't take it any stronger. heart to heart, face to face, only love can draw the line. Step by step, till the world runs out of time. I love that. Is my favorite song off the album, and I don't think it, well, my second favorite song off the album, because my favorite song off the album is a song by Bob Seger. You guys all know Bob Seger. Living Inside My Heart. That one brings me to tears every single time, and I will at some point try to do it on a karaoke night. I'll try to hold myself together long enough to get through it. Trials of the Heart by Nancy Shanks. Till You Love Somebody by Michael Henderson. If We Can Just Get Through the Night by Paul Davis. True Love by the Del Lords, and If Anybody Had a Heart by John Waite. John Waite was a wonderful singer in the 80s. You guys probably know some of his tunes. This was an incredible album. Great movie. I know we've watched it at least once or twice on my channel. Specifically because they go to a pub called Mother's, and that was a pub that Netter and I used to go to. It was literally just down the street from her, where she lived on the north side of the city.
Yep.
When we were dating. So we used to go there quite often. Yeah. So another movie with Rob Lowe and Demi Moore, Jim Belushi and Elizabeth Perkins.
I always liked Elizabeth Perkins. She was in Big, right?
She was in Big, yeah. Yep. And what did you do on sandwich night? I love that line. Because the whole story is Demi Moore and Rob Lowe start living together, and she's explaining to Elizabeth Perkins that they've gotten into a routine, and what is it, like 3 nights a week he cooks, 3 nights a week I cook, and then there's sandwich night. She goes, oh, that's really nice. So it's probably like, 3 nights a week he's on top, 3 nights a week you're on top. What do you do on sandwich night?
Oh.
But yeah,
if you've ever seen joke that I can't mention on air. Okay.
If you've ever seen this movie, if you saw the original cable version or you saw it in theater, basically the uncut version, not the made for television version. The song "Living Inside My Heart," beautiful love song by Bob Seger, played over a montage of them moving in together, butting heads a little bit, because that's what you go through when you're moving in with somebody, and you're kind of invading each other's space. But it's also intercut with them getting tired as they're getting the bed ready, and then they end up falling into bed together, and you know where this is going. By the time the song is wrapping up, the day is over, they're both buck-ass naked, and they're going downstairs to raid the fridge. Literally, both of them. And Demi gets like a full frontal shot in that scene.
Oh,
but
okay.
Well, she's got some nudity throughout, interspersed, because they're getting it on. But the reason I mention this is because in the television edit of this, they don't cut the scene. They only cut out the scenes of them where there's nudity.
Right.
So to make up the difference, they increase the speed of the song. Which doesn't alter it terribly, but it's noticeable to someone who really loves the song. And then when they come downstairs, he's wearing tighty whities and she's wearing a robe.
It's weird how they would have alternative cuts of certain scenes.
Well, I've mentioned this before, how they would do this, possibly for a commercial release, and also, yeah, for airplanes, if they were going to be playing, even if you didn't pay to, get the earphones, you might actually see the movie. So we didn't want any kids seeing any boobies or whatever, right? But in addition to that, this is something else people don't really consider. Sometimes they're not sure if they want to go for a higher or lower rating, if they want to go for the R or if they want to go for the PG.
Oh,
Film scenes two different ways and then decide in the editing which way they want to go with it.
Okay, good point.
Yeah. Yeah, I hate it when they do that. Cut out the nudity.
No, I was referencing Geek Flag said he had seen Less Than Zero on Roku recently, and I went to look for it today, didn't see it there. So we're surmising that it probably was there a few days ago, and now it's been yanked from streaming. And that happens a lot. That happened with the movie Hotel I was watching, and then they yanked that from streaming like a couple of days after I started watching it. That happens. This is why we say own physical media. But frankly, can we get a better edition of Less Than Zero? Somebody out there? Criterion, you listening? Maybe.
Right.
Video. Exactly, somebody give us a nice edition of Less Than Zero for all the Jamie Gertz fans out there.
There are no.
I don't dislike her. I don't dislike her, but I don't know. She was in Lost Boys. I liked her in that.
If you have not seen About Last Night, I'd encourage you to check it out. It is also on Roku. Right now you can check it out. It's definitely worth the watch. They did make a remake of it in 2014. I don't know what it is. I never saw it. I have no interest. I don't care. It is based on a book called Sexual Perversity in Chicago.
Is it possible it was another adaptation of that book, but then again they kept the title, so
yeah, it's a remake as far as I'm concerned.
It's like The Running Man, because I'm like, well, is it technically a remake or is it just another adaptation of the same book?
Yeah, it's a complete race swap too. So it was just we need to make a version so that people can feel included. It's like, you know what? I don't need remakes. You want to make a movie, make a new movie. All right. Just,
remake it again with some Lou in it. I'm kidding.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And John Leguizamo. I'm sorry, because they're the two ones that he could be
part
the
of the reason. Part of the reason we do streams like this is because we've probably mentioned songs and movies that you've never even heard of. Just, it's worth checking them out. And some of these we do rewatches of and so forth. But good point, Troy, because what happened with Monster Squad was filmed for R rating, and they also filmed a PG version, and the executive decided which one would get general release. Yeah.
Darn it. I wonder if the R version would have made it better. I don't know. I guess we'll never know.
What sometimes happens is they'll put out the PG-13 version, and then they'll put out a special DVD unrated version.
They do that now, but the trouble is they weren't thinking about that back then. So,
you should always be thinking of, how can I make more money? How can I make more money? How can I re-release the same movie twice and double my
They
profit?
weren't really thinking about alternative cuts back then. That was something that came out later. Like probably one of the first big ones was that Blade Runner, quote unquote director's cut, which wasn't really a director's cut. Oh, there we go. There's a nice picture of Rob Lowe and Demi.
Oh, that was kind of cute, because this is another thing that it's kind of time locked. This idea of having a music device, a Walkman or whatever, and two earphones so you can both listen to it.
Yep.
But yeah.
Let's fast forward 10 years now. Sorry.
Wow.
Lost Highway 1997.
Yeah, this one surprised me. I know we've watched this together. I know. I was actually surprised that
I was 19 when this soundtrack got released, so I was younger. Okay, this was the big David Lynch movie that we were all waiting for after Twin Peaks, and I'm like, where is David Lynch? Where are you? And then this movie came out. So, but I did buy the soundtrack because, again, back then You could buy a VHS, or you could buy a laser disc if you had money, which I did. But I said, well, let me get the soundtrack to this, and big deal. It's a soundtrack for the 1997 David Lynch film, produced by Trent Reznor of Nine Inch Nails, and includes original music recorded by Reznor, Angelo Badalamenti,
yeah,
and Barry Adamson, as well as songs by other artists used in the film. Let me go over some of the artists in this. We have David Bowie.
Yep.
Let's see. We have Smashing Pumpkins. Lou Reed, Marilyn Manson.
Yep.
Rammstein.
Oh, Rammstein. I only know about Rammstein because of Andre over at Midnight's Edge. Yeah.
It's the very I think they're German, correct? They're German.
I'm pretty sure they are. Yes. That's a very, very, very strong language. And I have not a word, no clue what they're singing about, but it's harsh.
Apparently, it reached number 7 on the Billboard 200 and reached gold status in the United States and platinum Canada. The album was re-released on vinyl November 2016 by Dutch label Music on Vinyl. Here's what's sad about this. Could this happen now? Could David Lynch release a movie that had a soundtrack that made number 7 on the Billboard 200? Could this happen in the modern year? I don't think so.
I don't know. How did the soundtrack from Twin Peaks do? Because
that's a good question. Because I do have that one too. Yeah. From the revival series, right? Yeah, the season 3, I should say.
No, not just that. I meant from the original album.
But I'm talking about like now, if something like this happened now, would the kids go out and buy it? I don't know. I'm not trying to pick on them. I just don't know. I do like that picture of Bill Pullman. That's very, very dark, though.
Yes.
But,
thank you, Nate. He says, okay, next Friday, we're doing soundtracks 2 because you guys skipped over some big ones. We did skip over some big ones.
We are going to do this again someday. Maybe in a couple months we'll hop on this again. Yeah, because this is... soundtrack for, it's funny, this is from an article, The Lost Highway, a soundtrack for a psychogenic fugue state.
That's you know what, that's almost exactly what David Lynch himself said, so yeah.
But let's see here. Soundtrack Lost Highway lands somewhere between alt-rock, jazz, and the menacing ambience of the film's sound design. Set in a fractured headspace of a man in trouble, Lynch and Barry Gifford's approach has been described as psychogenic fugue state. The DSM-5 classifies this now as dissociative fugue state, and its relations to the film has its limits. But as pointed out by Rodley, the fugue state does not just play waking nightmares that befalls Fred and Pete. In music, a fugue is created by a boundary that introduces infinite possibilities. Put simply, as one theme begins, it is answered by a second theme, or it can be accompanied by a counter theme. Lost Highway is at once a story about disassociation, sublimated desires, and death. As Fred and Pete are plunged deeper into psychological conflict, certain songs embellish these moments and remind us of the themes and more. Film's opening track, I'm Deranged, gave Lynch a vision of how the credit sequences would unfold. He stated that the image of yellow lines dividing black pavement came to him instantaneously. The song was recorded by David Bowie in 1995 for his nonlinear concept album Outside. Written from the perspective of a serial killer artist known as the Minotaur, the murder mystery from which the song stems is told across time and left deliberately open-ended. Bowie's song is driven by the frantically paced electronic beats and bursts of chaotic jazz piano. Its choruses feel almost euphoric, though they are broken up by desperate vocal lines in the verses. Song captures the feeling of slipping further into an abyss.
Yep, and that fits the movie perfectly. I would also suggest not only seeing this movie, but see it as a double feature with Memento. I think there are some thematic similarities between the two.
Yes. I remember a while back when you were doing a rewatch. This was before you and I started streaming together, I think, and you were doing a rewatch of Memento. And we got to the end of the movie, and I said, oh, so he is the villain of the story. Remember when I said that?
Yes.
Because you're wondering where you're kind of following him and you're on his side, but I remember the line from Smallville when Lex Luthor said, "Yes, you were right. I am the villain of the story," and that's what I thought in Memento. He's really the most evil character probably in that movie, and though you have the other characters who are kind of scheming him and stuff, but you realize no, he's probably the real monster out of everybody.
But if you're really fair about it, he doesn't know he is. and when he finds out, he wants to forget that.
Here's what I think. Maybe on the subconscious he knows. Do you understand?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Maybe his conscious mind doesn't, but there's something in there which is bad. He's at least almost sort of reminding me of a Batman villain,
Sure.
Like he could become a Batman villain.
Well, Memento was a Christopher Nolan film, wasn't it?
Yeah.
There you go.
It was, yes. That's true. I didn't think about that. So that maybe there were some ideas there. And now we have one of the Arquette sisters.
No, it's not Rosanna.
Not Rosanna.
Arquette, it's the other one.
Patricia Arquette.
Patricia Arquette. Yeah.
I like that. I don't even know if this is in the movie. Maybe it is when she's walking out of the dark.
I would guarantee you that's got to be a promotional
cool pick.
shot.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's like femme fatale. Okay. And Balthasar Getty there. We had Bill Pullman a minute ago. And of course, the mystery man who creeps me out, who is another one of these Lynchian creatures like the cowboy or like Bob or any of these
I love the interviews that I've seen with him talking about this. He's like, I did not understand this at all. I would ask who I was in this movie, what my motivation is, and I literally was just taking direction in the scene. I had no clue what was happening.
I think I finally figured this movie out. If we ever do another rewatch of it someday, I'll give you my final thoughts on Lost Highway. But I don't want to go over there. Oh, look at this. Also read a comprehensive history of the Ju-On franchise. That sounds right up my alley, actually. But there's some good stuff on here. I'm just trying to see, though. Let me see. Lost Highway feels like an appropriate pessimistic time capsule for the late 90s. It closely emulates the edgier music on its soundtrack, which doubles down as themes reflecting unresolved social issues in a deeply isolating time that precedes the 21st century. Its images nonetheless resonate with a culture that has long since enshrined its obsession with dead women at the hands of violent men. Yikes.
I would also argue that this particular shot and this character specifically, and some other themes throughout the movie, this idea of seeing things through cameras was very much laying the groundwork for the modern age that we live in, where people spend more time recording things with their phones than actually interacting with the world around them directly.
Unfortunately, that's where we are. So maybe this was a preview of things to come. Yeah.
He was looking for Flappy. Yes, he was.
Well,
I think
that wraps it up, though. But I think that's it. The end. I should put question mark because we will do this again.
We will do some.
There are a lot of other soundtracks. You are correct. There were a lot of ones we didn't cover. Ones that almost made the list. I can tell you, Austin Powers came close to ending up on this list, but that might be for another time.
Nice.
Austin Powers, or even
I'm already thinking
Bond
about
movies
some
have
that I really
theme songs, which I could have covered. But anyway,
absolutely, Bond, the Godfather films.
There's songs in that because I'm thinking songs, not scores. We probably.
No, I'm talking about the songs. Goodfellas, absolutely.
Goodfellas was another one that was all about scores. And here's the thing about sometimes these songs are written for the movie, sometimes the director picks them for the movie later on. So like Tarantino does that a lot with his movie soundtracks. So I wasn't going to try to limit this. You could do either one, So yeah. In fact, but I suspect David Bowie probably re-recorded his song from his other album for this movie and made it
possibly
Lost Highway, yeah. All right. That's it.
So that's it. I don't think there was anything that I didn't cover in the promo. So do you have any last thoughts, any last words before we wrap it up?
Nothing, just
out of here because you got to get to bed
I got to get to bed, and it's been fun, and we will meet you again next week. We will have something fun planned.
Boomer, Less Than Zero is the white whale of 80s movies because of the music, the music rights are all over. That's
interesting.
Possibly why it's probably having a similar situation to
terrible
to Heavy Metal.
Fix it. I always thought that maybe Heavy Metal got released, but I guess I was wrong because Sony was a big music owner, and maybe when Columbia got sold to Sony, then they could fix the music rights.
That might have been.
That article was different. Right. It was the guy that owned Heavy Metal sorted it out apparently with the people. But I figured Sony owns a lot of those music labels but I don't know.
So there you go.
Okay, that's all.
Netter, any last thoughts or words before we close this puppy down?
I think you guys are Osmo, and I hope you enjoy this kind of flashback to great music. And who was it? Nate that said we need to do a part 2. Yeah, definitely do a part 2. I love hearing about this music. It's these throwback songs that it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. That was like such a great song.
Yeah.
And you forget about them because so many years have passed, and then you get reminded. It's like that's such a blast from the past. So these are the feel good things. These are the things we need to hear more about.
Yeah. Anything else, Boomer?
No, like I said, tune in Sunday for Kiki Geezers, but also tune into this guy's and this gal's channel. You'll find all sorts of things on there too. And like we talk about William Shatner's obsession with Raisin Bran.
Bill Shat. Dude. Say that was clever. When I first heard it, I'm like, they know what they're doing, and then I'm like, oh yes, they do know exactly what they're doing. That's
I think Bill, he gets it. Yeah. A lesser man.
Look,
may
Bill
not,
Shat on a car.
So
all right, everyone. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for taking this little nostalgia trip with us and putting up with us. Thank you for all of you that directly support the channel. Thank you, Ruby Hoove. Thank you, Geek Flag with Nate Knows. Make sure that you subscribe to each other. Subscribe to all the people that make this possible. Their links are all below. Make sure you're subscribed to everybody here on the panel, especially this guy down here. We need to get him monetized so he can justify the time that he's losing sleep and putting up with me on a weekly basis. And if you are watching Westworld, when you finish watching Westworld, you better watch Fallout. Same people worked on it, and a lot of similar themes, and very, very good. Unless you're talking about the movie with Yul Brynner, that's altogether different. I was assuming you were talking about the series, but anyway, thank you all so much. Tomorrow, Big Al presents. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Get healthy. Hail hydration, and drink responsibly. Do as I say, not as I do. And you take care of yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye, y'all.
Bye.
Good night, ladies.
Good night, sir.
Hit it, sweetheart.
The neon lights are fading. Closing time is near. Whispers in the corners, secrets shared sincere. The bartender's polishing the final glass. Time slips away like moving through the grass. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One more round, friends, from me and you. Let's toast to the night, to the stories we've spun. Here's to the laughter and to what's begun. The shadows are dancing as we linger still. Every clink of a glass, a memory to distill. Beneath this smoky haze, our feelings they unfurl. A tapestry of whispers in this corner of the world. The jukebox serenades us with a final tune, crooning to the lonely and the lovers under the moon. With every soft note, the end draws ever near. But in this fleeting moment, there's nothing to fear. Last call for alcohol, make your dreams come true. One for me and you.